And I've had a couple people question about cheat codes and things like that. Honestly, you don't need a money cheat code. If you properly start your city like I did, you can roll in it. I'm making now 92,000 every turn, and when I started, I was at 72 million. Now I'm at 74 million. So I'm just rolling in money right now. It would take some serious building and bulldozing to change things. One thing a lot of people do or would do is to demolish a lot of these smaller areas and just completely rebuild it. That is an option for me, but I kind of like the original rural area, and having it's there and moving in and building something new. It kind of is like the progression of the city, because I'd have to, in a real city, I'd have to pay all these people off, whereas now I can just build around them. The traffic in these neighborhoods is not that bad, honestly. That's my freight. You can see what's really being used here. Now for the clincher, the traffic. You can see the neighborhoods are very low traffic. However, the main arteries that I built through them, which I planned out as the bigger avenues, are horribly trafficy. One thing I always did in SimCity when I built areas like this was I would build more across, and then I would do a one-way street and a one-way street, and that doubles the amount of traffic that little street can have. Just like when I originally built this area, I had the 2-lane roads, each going one direction. That allowed me to keep those roads much longer, but was kind of in the end ultimately pointless. In these small areas here, I think that would help a lot, because this is yellow and orange, so that's not overly trafficked, partly because most people want to go north-south, but you can see where some of them really are getting hit. My highway and these big ones are really getting slammed, so you can see where I should build and expand things. Like this main highway, this whole thing was a solid dark red before I built the highway. This one up here, you can see just how much of a bypass this was. These used to be even darker red, kind of like this blood red up here, whereas now they're just kind of a lighter red, almost orange. You can see just how much building these two bypasses did for the traffic in the city. These neighborhoods used to be much redder, as did this, but it's kind of shunted most of the traffic off to the side. Sucks for the people who ride on that road, but that's not my concern. I don't have to do it. These areas heavily trafficked. I built the jobs kind of separated, and as time goes on I'll be building more roads up and down, but for now there's no city there to build the road through, and I don't want to do that to myself. With the office complexes, I built a little smarter with mostly these big avenues, not really avenues, sorry, the 2-lane roads. So what I can do is make one, just kind of switch them one way this way, one way back, one way up, one way down, and that'll alleviate a lot of the traffic problems and make it more uniform. This was kind of an experiment to see how I could build, and it, as you can see by some of the spaces here, I didn't get it quite right, but there was a lot to do. And I'm pretty close, but it really evens out what I can build and makes it much more planned and plotted. What it does do, though, is it kind of removes some of the uniqueness of the game that you just can't get in SimCity and the others. This custom end piece here right along the riverbank is awesome. It's great. It matches, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Built right along the edges, and it looks like a nice, expensive, fancy place to live, and I planned it with rich people in mind for it. High property values and things like that. Well, thank you for watching. I just wanted to say that I've got a couple new cities in the works. I'm going to try to make some more informative videos dealing with the highways, some better building options with infrastructure and what type of buildings you can actually use and things along that line. I'll show some information on building buses and showing up the lines and how to try to lay out your lines in a way that your people will actually utilize them. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and farewell to the planet offer.